Hello and welcome back to Concert Critiques in Cars with Emily. So tonight's show was at the 9:30 Club, and it was Moon Taxi as the headliner and then Moon Hooch as the opener. So getting there was pretty easy. Saturday, of course, it was the Saturday of Halloween, so parking was a little bit more interesting, but fortunately we found a spot pretty quickly, and I'm a master parallel parker, so I was able to do a really good job. I'm just kidding about being a master parallel parker, but I actually did a good job. So anyway, yeah, so it was a little bit different than what I'm normally used to parking wise, but I was still able to find a pretty good spot in the same area. So we definitely got lucky with that. So again, super lucky. And I feel like if we had had to search for parking, it would not have been as fun. Anyway, also side note, so this was an early show, so it started, doors were at 6 and the show started at 6:30, and which means it had to be over by 9:30 because there was a later show that was going to start at 10:30, or at least doors were at 10:30. So it was a little frustrating because all day today we were trying to figure out if the show starts at 6:30 or if it starts at 7. I called multiple times, and of course the office isn't open because our office hours are Monday through Friday, 10 to whenever. So it was a little bit frustrating that we couldn't really figure out that information. And then finally at 5 o'clock, once the window opened for will call and stuff for the show, I called and they confirmed that it was 6:30, but I even tweeted them and looked on Twitter to see if it was on Twitter, so that was a little bit frustrating, and I definitely wish that they had posted that information previously so that I could have planned my evening, especially because it was dinner time. So it was are we eating at 4 p.m. to get there by 6, or are we eating at 5 to get there by 6:30? So that was a little bit too bad. I mean, I don't want to say frustrating because it wasn't frustrating, it was just unfortunate. That's a good word. Anyway, let's get into the show. So I had never heard of Moon Hooch before, and I did not look them up on YouTube. So this was definitely an experience. It was interesting to say the least. They came on almost 15 minutes late. It was 12 minutes late, which again, for a show that had to end early, I wasn't sure if that was planned. But then once at the end, I think they were actually going to play another song, but the people backstage were like, yo guys, you gotta get off. Anyway, let me tell you about Moon Hooch. So they are a EDM sax/brass band. I mean, it was definitely something I never experienced before. They came out and started playing and then just kept playing. So they had very minimal lyrics. As a matter of fact, the first time they actually had lyrics was 20 minutes into the set. And the lyrics that first time were actually pretty okay. It was just a couple words repeated over and over again. And it was a little bit of a slower, softer part. And then the second time they came back with lyrics, it was a hot mess disaster. So there were 3 band members. There was a drummer, and then there were 2 people playing either the baritone sax or the sax or some other instruments that I probably am gonna butcher the name for / don't recognize, so I'm not gonna try. But yeah, it was super interesting. So they had a computer and a keyboard, I guess, and they just added electronic sounding bass every now and then. And when the guy started singing the second time, it was straight up this electronic bass, and he was basically heavy metal screaming. So yeah, it was definitely my least favorite part of their set. It was just bizarre and really not it was just this crazy computer bass with this guy screaming over it. I don't know, it was just not a very good section of the show. But other than that, I mean, they were super entertaining. I've never seen anyone more passionately play the saxophone. They were on the floor, on their knees, moving around a lot. Both of them, right? So both the leads were really good, and they switched on and off for solos and stuff. So it was really, I mean, very interesting show. And again, I'm a lyrics person, so for them not to have a lot of lyrics and for me still to find parts either very beautiful or just super impressive. I mean, there was this one part where he just played this very complicated melody over and over again, and then he started getting faster and faster, and I was like, what is going on? This is amazing. The fact that you can even play that to begin with and then to increase the speed was really impressive. My favorite part of their set, at one point the drummer stopped playing the drums and was just playing, I don't know if it was an oboe or a clarinet. I would like to hope it was a clarinet because I played the clarinet when I was in high school. So it was like really cool. It was just the three of them playing like woodwind / brass instruments, and it was just really like a really beautiful melody, and like the three pieces worked together really well. So I really liked that part. And if anything, that would be the song that I look up of theirs, because I really liked that part. And there were definitely some other parts where it was like slower and beautiful, and even like the faster parts were really entertaining, and they had like some really great pieces. But then they had, whenever they would put the bass in, it was not something that I enjoyed. So yeah, definitely an interesting band. If you are looking for something to entertain you, or if you like that like melody side of music, definitely check them out. So then let's get into Moon Taxi. So going in, I only knew their biggest hit, Too High, which is on the radio. And I had listened to them on YouTube a couple times at work, and so I only like recognized maybe 4 other songs. But the first song they played was a song that I recognized, and it was like an upbeat song. So they came out and they played this like really upbeat, crowd involved, like moving around type of song. And then they followed up with another really like upbeat song, which was really awesome. When they played their first slow song, it was like a country song, in my opinion. It was not like straight up country, but it sounded more country than not. And it was about like going home to Tennessee, which is like such a country song thing to sing about, so wasn't a huge fan of that one, and I was a little bit scared that all of their slow songs would be very country. But right after that slow song, they played some more like faster upbeat songs again, which was great. And then the next time they played a slow song, which was like 3 or 4 songs later, it was more of like just a classic like alternative rock slow song and not so much of a country song. So I definitely appreciated that. I definitely liked that it was not just like alternative and then country when we slow it down. So that was definitely awesome, and I'm glad that I didn't feel like I was teetering on that country line the whole night. So yeah, then they like played some other like awesome songs. They actually started a cover song and then went right into their own song after the first chorus, which was really cool. I really liked that. So that was pretty neat. And you know, it was a popular cover, so the crowd got involved in it, and then right when they started playing their song, the people who knew the song were like so excited. So that was really cool. I liked that they kind of just seamlessly transitioned into that, so that was pretty neat. And then at one point they did do like a jam session where everyone got their turn to solo, so that was okay. I mean, I don't really enjoy that type of song in a set. Like, I'm glad that they had a chance to shine, and again, the things that they play are so complicated and just super impressive, but you know, after like 5 minutes, I'm like, all right, I'm ready to move on, and I'm ready to, you know, hear some lyrics or something different than this same like general sounding song. So that was like a little bit of a lull for me in the set. But then right after that, everyone left stage except for the drummer, and then the drummer kind of like played drums to an edited version of Eleanor Rigby, which was like so super fantastic, because I really love that song. That is definitely one of those songs that I love to listen to and often forget about. So then when I'm reminded of it, I'm like, oh my gosh, I love this song. Like, I totally forgot how awesome this song was. So that was really cool. And what I mean by edited is like they kind of like would hold lyrics back and like let music play for a little bit. So instead of just the song like straight through, they would like play a verse and then let a little bit of music play and then bring the chorus in. And again, I mean, I could be wrong. I'm not really sure. I haven't listened to that song in a long time, but I'm pretty sure they kind of held certain pieces so that the drummer could do his solo during that song. So then after that, the whole band came back and they played like 4 really solid songs. Again, none of them that I actually knew, but they were really great. They played 3 really upbeat ones, and then they did a slower one, but really entertaining. And actually the slower one ended up being really entertaining at the end. Like, it started slower, but then it kind of like picked up towards the end. So really fun comeback after the drummer played Eleanor Rigby, which was really cool. And then they went off for an encore. They went off for like 10 seconds. So, and again, they may have gone off for longer if they didn't have to be done by a certain time. But when they came back, they played one song that I had recognized from YouTube. It's probably like one of their bigger hits favorites. Obviously, they save those for the end most times. And then they played the one song that I actually knew, which is Too High, the song that's on the radio. So I was really excited for that one, and it was a great way to end the show. And again, because I personally didn't know any of their songs, I was really glad that they saved that to the end, because if they had like played it earlier or even at the beginning of their encore, it just was like really something for me to look forward to, because I knew they were going to play that song, and I knew I was going to have fun while they played it. So it was really a good way for me, for them to end the show. Yeah, so let me know what you think. Feel free to comment, subscribe, like, and I'm interested to hear your thoughts. If you were there, if you've seen them before, if you haven't seen them but want to see them, if you think I'm a crazy person and I'm super inaccurate about them, let me know. And I will see you guys on Wednesday for 21 Pilots. So I'm really excited about that. And yeah, so have a great day. Bye. Hello again. So my wonderful fiance reminded me that I did not give this concert a score. So let's talk about that, shall we? Alright, so again, the first band was really awesome. They were really energetic, and that in and of itself was pretty neat. Style of music, definitely interesting, but not something I enjoyed 100% of the time. Again, some of their stuff was really great, but when they had that like weird electronic bass going, it really was not something that I enjoyed. And then of course Moon Taxi was amazing, and if I had listened to their songs more, I think I would have like super enjoyed their set. I mean, I'm not going to take off any points for me not knowing the songs, because even though I didn't know them, they were amazing, and their sound was fantastic. So I knew none of the lyrics, but could hear every single lyric for every single song, no matter how many people were playing. So I thought that was really great. So I'm going to give this one, oh, this is a tough one. I'm going to give this one an 8.0. I want to give it an 8.5, but the opener was just a little bit, like those moments that I really didn't enjoy it, I really didn't enjoy it. But then the moments that I did enjoy it, I really did enjoy it. So I think an 8.0 is a pretty accurate score for that. And again, we got lucky with parking, so that was like definitely a plus. And Moon Taxi was so amazing, so that is another plus for sure. But yeah, just that opener, when they were not great for me, they were really not great. But yeah, all right, well, sorry about that. See you guys later.